session. So both the sessions, I shared a link. So do not share to any others generally. Okay, not required to share also. Just watch it using the link. Okay, only sharing the material, sharing the recording, guys. It is if in case, sometimes some disturbance will occur, right? From your environment, so some disturbance will occur. Sometimes you miss the point because I will keep telling and you may miss some points. So that is record is helpful. Recording is only secondary, just for a backup. You miss 15 minutes of some session point. Okay, so suddenly someone came and you are disturbed. So you may miss some 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So what happened in between? Okay, so you miss some points or you want to note down separately. So record is helpful. It does not mean you should not need to attend kind of stuff. You miss something, a point issue is there. This is like a backup kind of stuff. Only recording is only for backup purpose. Okay, compulsory attend the full day, the full session. And if you have any doubts or you want to ask any questions regarding the technical point, okay, you have to you can ask and be interactive. So try to say you understand or not. Your tell some answers for basic kind of stuff. Okay. So pictures mostly why I kept this one is because most of the pictures I have put at one place. So it's quite easy for me to copy paste instead of search and pasting thing. Actually, I will start with the networking, but for your session, I'm going to start with the basic hardware. Networking is also a very big lengthy topic. ఎన్ని ఎందుకు బయట కూర్చున్నాం ఇంట్లో అక్కడ కూర్చోబెట్టండి వాళ్ళకి ఎంతోసేపు ఉండదు అరగంటే వాళ్ళకి ఎంతోసేపు ఉండదు అరగంటే దాన్ని కూర్చోబెట్టండి ఒకవేళ ఇబ్బంది అయితే అప్పుడు నేను షిఫ్ట్ చేస్తాను సెషన్ అవుతుంది సో యా Okay, so here it is, guys. This is our cabinet. So the total one is we call it as a cabinet. Normally we talk in a computer part. So this is what we call it as a cabinet. Okay. Inside of this cabinet, we have a different components like you have a motherboard. On the motherboard, you have a CPU fan. This is SMPS. Okay. And CD drive if it is there. Nowadays, mostly these desktops also do not comes with the CD drive kind of stuff. Okay. Hard disk connectivities. Okay, back panel connectivities like you can connect your mouse, keyboard, your VGA for monitor connections, expansion slots like you can connect additional graphic cards, NIC cards like network cards like that. Okay, so this total we call it as a cabinet. Okay, inside a cabinet we have a motherboard. On motherboard we have a CPU and RAM is also there. So this is not CPU, this is cabinet. So people become habituated to call it as a CPU. Okay. If someone told this is a CPU, do not worry. Okay. So don't say like, in any organization, guys, companies or colleges, important thing is whenever the senior person is telling this is now not this one, he's believe even it is a wrong kind of stuff, don't correct him. So give a smile and say hi. That's it. Okay. So these are the our main PC components. Actually, I want to type it, but it will take more time. Okay. So what are these PC components? It is PC component. So inside this cabinet, what are there? CPU. What is CPU? Central Processing Unit, which is also we call it as a processor. Processor, CPU, Central Processing Unit. All these things are same, simple single chip only it is. We have a RAM, random access memory. You have a ROM, read-only memory. Okay, that is we call it as a BIOS or UEFI chip. And very important, that is a motherboard, which is actually connects all your CPU and RAM and a hard disk, your power supplies, CD, DVDs, floppy disk, all these things connected from your motherboard only. Very simple circuit board only. Okay, and you have a hard disk. Nowadays we are able to connect SSDs also. Okay. Next, of course, nowadays mostly CD-ROMs and DVDs we are not using, but still some people are using with their cabinet. So like a habitual type, maybe like a backup purpose. Mostly all storages, external storages, we are using pen drives and external hard disk only. SMPS, switch mode power supply. So what is the use of this SMPS? So this is SMPS will connect it to the main power supply. The main power supply in our electrical power supply is 220 to 230 volts AC supply, 50 hertz frequency AC main power supply. But electronics devices always works with a DC power supply. Like you connect a charger to your mobile phone, but what is that charger is doing? It converts that AC supply to DC and gives a power supply to your mobile phone. Your battery will reach charges, right? Same way, it converts this AC power supply to DC power supply. So this DC power supply will distributed to your inside of your system. Of course, earlier days we have a floppy disk. Floppy disk are removed almost 15 years back only. Okay, 20 years back floppy disk is there. 15 years back floppy is not there. Only CD-ROMs are there. Floppy disk become almost all very less. CD is there, CD writers are there, and DVD combos are there, then DVD writers, then Blu-ray came. But Blu-ray, at the time of Blu-ray, so what happened? USB become, this pen drives become a more easy to store. Okay. The cost of Blu-ray is almost like a pen drive, we can able to purchase it. It is very easy to carry anywhere you can connect and you can copy it. Even for TVs you can connect, you can connect it to audio systems also easily. You can use the pen drives. So no need of CD, DVD become very less. Almost by 10 years, CD, DVDs also usage is become very less. Okay guys, these are the inside of the cabinet. Understand what are the basic components inside your cabinet?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next one is outside of cabinet. Outside of this, what we can able to connect? We can connect a keyboard. We connect a mouse. Okay, keyboard is your input device. Mouse is a pointer device. So if you want to select something, you want to move or you want to copy something, you can highlight something. You can use your pointer device, right? A monitor is a output device, main output device. It is for a display purpose. Of course, you can connect to the projectors for a displaying purpose. Okay, printers. What is the printer? We can connect a printer. Earlier days, parallel port. Now it is USB port only. What is this printer? It converts your soft copy. What is I am looking at? That is a soft copy. If it want it in a paper, so I will take a print. That is called a hard copy. Now I have some hard copy. For example, my college certificate is there, and I want to send to someone to my organization, my HR. I want to send. So what I have to do? I put that certificate on the scanner, scan it, convert into PDF or maybe a direct image, and send that one to my HR, right? That is what I'm sending, soft copy. What I am having, that is called hard copy. So on the paper, it is hard copy. On the system, it is soft copy. Touchpads, touch screens. Usually our laptops having touch pads, like for a mouse related kind of stuff. So it's a kind of a pointing device only. Touch screens, of course, your mobile phones, tablets, even for a laptops. I have my old laptop that is a touchscreen laptop. Okay, so you can give a touch input. So simple. You want to select something, you can directly go to that icon and double click, double put it. That's automatically it will open. Okay, so just how you operate your mobile or a tablet, same way you can operate your system. So two-in-one laptops are there, touchscreen laptops. Now touchscreen laptops, general touchscreen laptops are reduced. So only special two-in-one laptops, high-cost laptops are having this touchscreen. Mic and speakers, so mic, which where we are capture our voice and convert into digital signal and process it into the system, right? Speakers, you speak something, I can able to hear through the speaker only. I'm speaking in my mic, so you can able to hear from your speakers. It is like that. Card readers, of course, you have a SD cards. So for your mobile phone SD cards or maybe digital cam SD cards, you can able to read those things. Bluetooth devices, I'm using mouse with a connecting Bluetooth mouse it is. So I can able to connect to the Bluetooth. Bluetooth hearsets, Bluetooth data transmission, Bluetooth printers, the Bluetooth devices. External hard disk now we are using. So you have a huge amount of data, daily data creation in your laptops or desktops become higher. Okay. So you download some movies. Earlier I download lot of movies. I don't know where to kept. I purchased one external hard disk and I kept it because in laptop I should have a my organization related or my personal immediate personal documents only, not movies and all, right? So what I do, I'll put an external hard disk. I do installation of operating system like Linux, Windows kind of operating system. So I download those OS images and applications like Oracle SQL applications, MySQL applications, Talent application, Power BI applications. Like I download a lot of different applications. So I can't keep everything in my laptop because the storage is limited. I put it in external hard disk. So I purchase 1-2 terabyte of external hard disk. I put data into that one. Joysticks, gaming controllers. Of course, normally game controllers are for your PS4 and Xbox kind of stuff. For your desktops, you can also use it for playing games. Okay, with your system also you can play the game, right? So that is will become more easier to play with the joysticks and all. So these are the different devices which is outside of cabinet, which is not inside, which is we are connected to our cabinet. Or if you have a laptop, then laptop. Okay. Depends upon our requirement. Yeah. Is it good, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So first one is a CPU, Central Processing Unit. Okay, it is a small kind of chip, guys, like this only. It is actually your brain of your computer. So simply I will go to the CPU images. Okay, not these things. This is CPU. So this is actually also it's a small kind of chip and it contains information about the manufacturer model and the clock speed and cache memory related of CPU. Okay. So yeah, here it is. You can see in this one i9 processor, i9-14800K model it is. Okay. So if you go to search like it is i9 149 00K, right? This is 9. This is the correct one. So this is about your processor. See, I search based on this number. So for example, you have a laptop and you check what is your processor and their number. So you search in a Google, you can find under intel.com. Okay, under intel.com or ask.intel.com. So you just open and you can see the details. So this is the processor model. And what is the cache memory? 36 MB cache memory. It is very high speed one. 6 gigahertz, very high speed processor it is. 14th generation. 14 means 14th generation processor it is. Okay. And number of cores are 24. Performance cores 8. Efficient cores are 16. It is divided into two parts, but it is totally 24 cores, 32 threads because of 16 double is 32. Okay. And the frequency, the base frequency, we want a base frequency. Where is the base frequency? Not given here. This is efficient core base frequency. The total frequency is given 6 gigahertz. Cache memory is 32 MB cache memory. Even not only L3 cache, L2 cache is also given 32 MB, and it is required 125 watts power. It means if you buy this processor, you need a very high wattage SMPS also. Okay, turbo means you are using a full turbo speed. All cores are activated, so you will have it is consumed 253 watts of power. You need a very high coolant kind of stuff also. Okay, your RAM support is also very high, 120, 192 GB, and it support both the DDR5 and DDR4 RAM. Okay. So built-in graphics, UHD graphics 770. So playing games are very low performance, but it is given some display purpose only. All internal this UHD, Iris XE, these are all mainly for display purpose only. Gaming is you have to check based on the game, or you want to use any like graphical media based applications like a AutoCAD, CATIA kind of stuff, those 3D designing, 2D designing kind of stuff, multimedia related you are doing any video editing. So you have to check these graphics are enough for your application, or you need a additional graphic card or not. Okay. So other few application support and built-in feature support also given. This is maximum display support. It is showing 4K videos you can see. Then more than 4K you can see. High resolution. So this is socket type. So every processor sits in a one socket. So that is a socket kind of stuff. And again, it is 64-bit processor. And these are the some built-in instructions. I need one, so that's why I'm searching. That is virtualization technologies. And of course, these are all features supported by this processor. Simple guys. My processor is i5 10210. So see, any processor you can type, so that's just sold by our Intel only. So you will find what is a processor, what is a cache memory. See, the cache memory is different from that processor to this processor. And a maximum speed up to 4.20. It is a 10th generation. See, it's a 10 means 10th generation. Okay. Next, 4-core processor, 8 threads, cache memory is 6 MB, and wattage consumption is compared to that, it is very low. Okay. And of course, it support maximum RAM up to 64 GB RAM. We can use it. Already it contains 16 GB. I can put 232, so it will works. And supporting RAM types, you can see DDR4 with this kind of frequencies, it will support. Of course, it just comes with a basic, very UHD, not even a number. Okay, so basic for a display purpose only. Of course, it support 4K. So you can see it will support 4K display. HDMI support, HDMI display we are getting. 64-bit processor it is, and Intel virtualization technologies. Yes, there are certain features are not there, but there is many features are available. Okay, so you have a processor. What you do? Take the processor number, put it in Google, and check in a Intel part. Okay. Next one is this processor on your motherboard only. See, this is a processor socket and this is the processor. It sits inside on this socket only. It is fixed once you are sit, and this is a closer. You just put it and lock it. It won't move. Even you move the system, the processor won't move because once it is put it and they will lock the system. This is a double core kind of stuff. Means this motherboard you can put two processors like a old days server even not a old days nowadays also server motherboards we can put a two or more one or more processors on a some motherboards we can only put a normal desktops only one single processor and see this is the processor under this one socket and this is the locking mechanism so they close it and lock it so processor won't move. Okay, this is how they lock. Each processor, so if you see this processor does not have a pins. This is only small dots are there. This is called a land grid array type. Processor socket having a pins. Okay, so to reduce the size, so they remove these pins. The Walter type we have a pins. Now we do not have pins. Okay. This is processor socket. You guys. So what is your processor? Again, I will go once again. Okay. So what is your processor? It is a brain of our computer. Of course, it is a semiconductor chip. Okay. It is a single chip. It is perform arithmetic and logical processing. And of course, for our desktops and laptops, mainly two type of processor, two manufacturers. One is Intel, another one is AMD. One is Intel, another one is AMD. You are doing more data processing, means you are doing some programming kind of stuff. Okay, so more suitable is Intel. Only general purpose, Intel is more suitable. And AMD, so you want to go for a media kind of related, multimedia kind of stuff. AMD is more suitable, graphics and playing video games kind of stuff. AMD is more suitable because AMD built-in graphical memory is actually high, and as well as it support higher graphic cards also. But that is the whole time now. Anything you can choose it, guys. Again, AMD produce lot of heat, so you need a more coolant system. AMD is compared to Intel. AMD is a cheaper. Okay, you want 8-core processor in Intel. If in case it is at 30,000 in AMD, it comes in 20,000 only. Okay, a simple small cost difference is there, but still both are same. But you are using for a general purpose, server related or data processing related, programming related. So yeah, Intel is more suitable. And if you are in the more hot areas, So not general hot, not more hot, general hot, like a 30 degrees, 35 degrees in summer. Okay, so Intel is okay. Okay, but AMD, so compulsory, we need a more cooling place. Okay. Of course, there is a different type of manufacturers are there. Motorola, via manufacturers are there. And again, for mobile, also having a processor, right? So Samsung using Exynos processor, and some companies use Qualcomm Snapdragon, MediaTek. This is a new processor. It is there. Helio processors. Okay. So different organizations for mobiles, for their devices, different devices, routers, switches, use different kind of processors inside. Okay. And for our laptops and desktop, mostly we are using Intel and AMD only. Okay. So different models are there. So Intel having Pentium, dual core, i3, i5, i7, Xenon processor kind of stuff. Okay. In AMD, so we have a other kind of stuff like Ryzen processor, Athlon processor, kind of models are there. So now Ryzen is ruling part. Okay, Athlon processor is um, like a dual core, means very low level. Like you want a computer, so very with a normal performance, just general performance, Athlon is okay. You want a high performance, go for a Ryzen. Same way, you want normal performance, go for a i3 or a dual core processors. You want high performance, go for i5, i7. You have a server, Xenon processor. Okay, so depends upon what kind of performance, what kind of work you are using, you have to choose a processor. Yes, up to here, okay? Any doubts?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Your Okay. So every processor, already I told about a processor. I have shown some processor, right? So what we have seen in it, so we have seen speed, 6 gigahertz speed, 4.2 gigahertz, 2.4 gigahertz. Like the processor, what we have seen at processor is what is the speed of the processor, what is the base speed, what is turbo speed, kind of stuff. Width, 32-bit processor, or is it a 64-bit processor? So we have seen the width of the processor. Okay. Nowadays we are all having a 64-bit processors only. FSB means fan speed. It is there. So sorry, not the fan speed. It is a clock speed, which is meant for a RAM model. So it will tell the processor model when you search in a Google, like mm, I skip this one. Yeah. See this Intel. You can shows like this. So if you are using this kind of processor, what type of RAM I have to use? So this type of RAMs only how to use. You want to buy a RAM for this laptop or a desktop, so you have to purchase the RAM with this model only. Okay, you can't choose different kind of stuff. So supporting model is also. Number of cores. Sorry, L3 cache memory. So every processor having a cache memory. See, L3 cache memory is 6 MB. Higher the cache, better performance. Okay. So L3 cache memory. So what is the cache memory? So in L3 or L2, so important is the cache memory. The higher the cache memory, better performance. Number of cores per processor. So single core processor is there, dual core, 4 cores are there, 8 cores are there, 16 cores are there per processor. Number of cores are higher, better performance. It does not mean you have to put more money on these features, guys. Overall cost you have to buy it. One is the processor, next one is the RAM. Third one is hard disk. Some people, earlier days, the people will buy these desktops. So more cost on the media means 2.1 stereo system, 5.1 stereo system, big screen monitors, okay, multimedia keyboards. They put more money on the external kind of stuff. But always think computer means it should do the better performance and you should work with our task. Okay, I'm doing more virtual kind of stuff, more virtual machines I will create, more application I will run in the virtual machines. Any doubt, any things I do on the virtual machine, all my classes on virtual machines only. Okay, only for basic documentation work, basic application work only I'm doing on my direct physical machine. All remaining thing on virtual machines only. But problem is, okay, so what is the balance? So if I choose a system which is not supporting virtualization, which is having a less RAM capacities, it's not suitable for me. Even I have a very big screen. If I have a very good lighting kind of stuff, look is good, performance is less for my task. That is not good, right? So like you have to choose a processor and RAM and compulsory based on which is you will fulfill. So first is processor, RAM, and then storage, and of course virtualization is also important. Okay, so rename all remaining is so secondary things only. So number of processor per core, number of threads. It's a logical processor per core. Simply to say it is a single processor, guys. So later what they have done, instead of putting a two process for more performance, what they done, they put a two processor binding and then they call it as a dual core processor. Each processor having a cache memory. This cache memory load instructions and data from RAM, give it to processor, processor to cache memory. So this speed up actual system performance. This is dual core. It means this is one processor, this is another processor. Both are combinedly act as a single processor. Means actually single chip, but two processors are there with a shared cache memory. So what they will do, one instruction will give it to this, second instruction will give it to this. Like it will speed up your system. So later on days, what they have done, they split one processor into two parts. This is core 0, this is core 1. This is core 2 geo model. And cache memory is separated. Cache memory is separated. And then quad core processors means one processor having a 4 cores. Single processor chip, but it contains 4 cores. 1, 2, 3. And each core having a separate cache memory. So it will work with the multitasking very easy. With the multiple tasks, with the background tasks, we can able to handle better. Nowadays, these are different. So now it is logical processors are introduced. Multi-core with the logical processing, multi-threading processors, like each core logically divided with a single cache memory type. Okay, this is logical means threads. Okay, it's a 4-core, 8-thread processor means each one is divided into two parts. It will give more performance than normal 4-core processor. And every processor nowadays we are checking. So check the virtualization technologies enabled or not. You can see the virtualization technologies enabled. So I can able to create and run virtual machines. I can do Docker kind of stuff. I can run Linux machine in virtual as a virtual machine in my physical machine. Right. Okay. So these are the things you have to check in your processor, guys, either existing processor or maybe you want to buy a new laptop or desktop. So check the processor things like you go to online Amazon.com and you want to buy a laptop, see the processor model and check the processor model. You satisfied with that one, go for it. Okay. Of course, the overall cost is also very important. It does not mean you have to increase number of cores, number of threads, clock speed, big RAM support kind of stuff. But it should be under our budget, right? That is very important. It does not mean budget laptop. We should take it. Okay, very low budget. Again, check it. It must suitable for your needs. So either it is 20,000 or a 50,000 or a 1 lakh rupees. Whatever it is, the laptop or a desktop, it is suitable for your needs. That is important. Someone have a 1.5 lakhs of laptop. So both gaming, everything is there, but they won't play the game. They don't use it. It's not fulfilling. It's a over priced for their needs. Some people will buy with the 25,000, 30,000 laptops. So that is also not fulfilling their needs. So choose better way. Next one, guys, instruction set. I said 32-bit processor, 64-bit processor. Guys, understand up to here processor specifications?
Understood,
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is processors are either currently 64-bit processors we are using. Okay, so earlier we are using 32. Still 32-bit is also there in the market, and some old laptops and desktops still we have a 32-bit. Actually, this bit range start from 4-bit. Of course, we are not using, not at all using. 4-bit is there, 8-bit is there, 16-bit is there, and 32-bit is there. So most of the system we are using from 32-bit, then 64-bit only. What is this bit? Every processor having a bit width, instruction width is there. I'm giving an instruction, print hello, some instruction. So it converts into ASCII, and then the instruction to process this command. So it will be in the system instructions, hardware instructions are there, right? So maybe if you are known assembly language, we given instructions, move A comma B, move A comma 10, add A comma B. Okay, so we are giving instruction, the entire instruction length in a binary is 32-bit in 32-bit processor, 64-bit in a 64-bit processor. Okay, so why we should move to 32-bit to 64-bit? 64-bit processors can handle more complex applications and bigger applications it can able to handle, because bigger the instructions, more complex instructions we can create, more complex tasks we can able to do it, and big applications we can easily run on the 64-bit. How it is possible? Of course, instruction size is bigger, and 64-bit also support big RAM capacities. Earlier days, so for with a 32-bit processor, maximum RAM is 4 GB. Maximum support is 4 GB only. You can't put a more than 4 GB RAM. But nowadays we can able to put this laptop 16 GB. So I can put 32 GB, I can put 64 GB, I can put 128 GB. So higher RAMs we can able to put it. Okay. So more RAM capacity, more speed, more applications, more big applications we can able to run. So 64-bit support higher physical memories, and so that we can able to run big applications. Memory allocations, the RAM is become more better as compared to 32-bit. Of course, 64-bit processors also providing this virtualization technology. What is this virtualization technologies? I can run virtual machines in my physical machine. So this is my virtual machine, virtual box application. This is my virtual box application. I can run a simple virtual machine with this one. So I will try this one. So that is a Linux based machine. My physical machine is Windows 10. My physical machine is Windows 10. Now I have to do some task in a Linux environment. So I cannot buy a Linux system again, right? So what I'm doing is, so I am going to a Linux machine. So yeah, let it boot. It will take time. There is no graphical environment in this machine, so it's a very small machine. So I think you can able to see. So this is my Linux machine. Okay, simple Linux machine it is. I can give all Linux based commands like a clear command. Okay, cd create a files, check the what are the files, small prompt. Okay, currently because it's a minimal system. Okay. Just I'm starting. I will keep it aside. Okay. So I think you can understand. In my Windows system, I am running a Linux machine. Not only that, guys, I have a Windows 10 machine is also there. This is Windows 10. So inside of this Windows 10 machine, I installed different databases, MS SQL, Oracle SQL, MySQL. I already installed, and I installed tools like Informatica. I installed. Talent application I installed, Power BI application I installed, some Java I installed, kind of stuff. Okay. In this one, I installed Git, Jenkins, some MySQL kind of stuff, Eclipse application I installed, Java I installed, Python I installed in this virtual machine. This is voice ticketing software, service desk related ticketing software. I will show you later this virtual machine. Okay. And this is my Linux Enterprise Linux 9 Oracle Enterprise Linux machine. It contains again DevOps related Git, Jenkins, Docker kind of stuff. This is Ubuntu. It contains Ubuntu operating system inside. Okay, so using this VirtualBox application, I'm able to create a multiple virtual machines. If you want to create how to install and all, you can search in the YouTube, then find it in my channel also. How to download the different OSs and installation. Okay, so these are the benefits of 64-bit and 32-bit. Okay, and what is the use of virtualization technology? Here it is, guys. Whenever so thing is, you have an application. You download an application. Okay, you download an application. So that application is 32-bit application or 64-bit application. So we don't know. So whether it is a 32-bit application or a application. See, it is which application it is, 32-bit or 64. See, this is an application showing x64. It means it is 64-bit application. x64, 64-bit application. x60, Win64, Windows-based 64-bit applications. We don't know what is this 32-bit or 64 currently, but if you try to open and go to properties, some information, so you may know it. Okay. So details, try to search in a details, anything regarding is 32-bit or 64-bit. Some are dual compatibility, sir. See, it is showing underscore 64-bit. And this is showing x64. This is Win64. What is this? It is trying to tell the application is 64-bit application. Either is it 64 wise, like 64-bit means 64-bit application, 32 64 x64 or AMD 64. Now we learn Windows based system Win64 or x86 underscore 64. What is x86 underscore 64? Intel 64. x86 represent Intel underscore 64 means 64 bit. Intel 64 bit. x64 just for our understanding it is 64 bit, or it will tell 64. AMD 64. AMD based system 64. Windows based 64. Okay, so whether it is telling like this or like this is also Intel only. x64 also Intel only. Okay. Here it is 32-bit. Older applications means 32-bit based machines, the 32-bit application. So it will tell 32-bit, x86, i386, i586. These are all 32-bit applications. Applications, program, or maybe operating system, drivers. So you have to check, is it 64-bit or a 32-bit? Sometimes it will combine both. Sometimes 64, 64, 32, 32, separate, or maybe combined it is available. So you have to check the architecture type and be with the compatibility cell. You have a 32-bit processor. Your operating system must be 32-bit. You have 32-bit OS. You should 32-bit OS should be installed in 32-bit processor architecture only. 32-bit processor, 32-bit OS, and device drivers. For example, you have a printer, you have an audio card, or maybe video network. You should install drivers to work with the devices, right? You have a printer, you have to install a driver, so then you can work with the printer. Which bit drivers? If you are using 32-bit processor, 32-bit operating system, 32-bit drivers only you should install, not different. If you have a 64-bit processor, you have to install 64-bit type of operating system and 64-bit type of drivers only. Okay, what is this separately I have written? So you have an applications. For example, I download a VLC player. Okay, I want to install, is it 32-bit or 64-bit? So on 32-bit PC, you have to install 32-bit. On 64-bit PC, you have to install 64-bit only. Then only bit compatibility is there. Sometimes you can install 32-bit applications on a 64-bit system. On 64 system, you can install 32-bit application also. It will supported by this Windows 32 on Windows 64 background services it will support. Okay, Lorbit you can install, but no guarantee. So if it is supported, working good, working. That to application only. Operating system, device drivers, always same bit as a processor. Okay. So I showed that one about your PC. In about your PC, C system type is 64-bit operating system and 64-bit based processor. Compulsory, same bit must be there. Guys, understand difference between 32-bit and 64-bit. I didn't written some stories here, but I have written here. Okay, 64-bit processor having an advantages over 32-bit. Of course, 32-bit or 64-bit, the instruction set is 32-bit in 32-bit processor, 64-bit in a 64-bit processor. 64-bit processor will give support higher memories, means you can install more RAM. So then we can work with more complex and big applications. And 64-bit processors also support virtualization technologies. 64-bit processor support virtualization technologies. Otherwise, I will write here. It is good. Support virtualization technology. So you can create virtual machines in your device, in your computer, and we can install, we can work with Docker. Then means that is nowadays we are having Docker kind, so Docker kind of stuff, virtualization kind of stuff, it's support. With a 64-bit processor, 64-bit processor, supports higher RAM capacity, support higher RAM capacities. So why it is showing the 64 processors. Okay, so you can run big or complex applications which require more RAM capacity. Okay, guys, understand what is the benefit of 64-bit? Okay.
Yes, sir.
How to identify 64-bit application or drivers kind of stuff. And what is the compatibility? Okay. So I have taken processor related thing only here. Now, here is for a processor, every processor, of course, it sits on your motherboard with a heat sink. Check it. So guys, this is my processor. So this is my heatsink assembly, heatsink and heatsink fan. You can see this is the heatsink and this is heatsink fan. This is heatsink fan. Yes, sir. చూద్దామండి నేను ఒక 2 minutes 5 minutes పడుతుంది టాపిక్ కట్ చేసి నేను ఉంటాను. Okay, this is entirely your motherboard. This is heatsink fan. So this is our processor, heatsink sits on it. So this is our socket. On the socket, we put a processor. On the processor, you have to put some heatsink paste. It is called a thermal compound. Okay, it is a thermal compound. On it, they put a heatsink. On the heatsink fan is there. Okay, what is the use of this heatsink? So heatsink, that thermal paste. What is the use? Guys, the processor will get a more heat. The processor, when you start your PC, the processor will start getting heated. The heat will be absorbed. Heat will be absorbed by this heat sink only. Heat sink. Sink means reducing, right? Heat reducer it is. So it won't cool down your processor. Actually, it is it is try to maintain the temperature. It is not to get overheated. The processor should not get overheated. If it is overheated, it burns. Processor is very costly. Without processor, you can't run a system. If processor burns, you can't do anything with your system. Okay, so here it is. This is what I am trying to say is this heat sink will try to absorb the heat. What is the use of this heat sink paste, thermal paste on the heat sink? Okay, somewhere it is they applied, right? Here it is trying to apply some heat sink paste. Okay, so what is the thing is it gives more contact to the processor. So the heat sink, processor to heat sink, it will give more contact, more observation, observe the thing, heat is there. So it is, here is a processor, this is heat sink paste, means thermal compound, it is thermal paste. So on it, heat sink, we're going to sit down. Okay, so heat will be absorbed by this heat sink. So here it is written. So what is a heat sink? Heat sink is a piece of metal that sits top of your processor chip, such as a CPU, draws power away from your components by letting it rise through the series of fins. Fins means these are the fins. What you can say, these gaps are there, no? That small aluminum kind of stuff. Those are our fins only. Okay, not fans, fins is the correct word only. By themselves. Heat sinks are passive, means they have no moving parts. Okay, so here it is an issue also I address. Here it is. If heat sink fan stop working or heat sink not sit properly on the CPU, what will happen? If you are not putting heat sink or not properly putting, or fan is not working, so please you CPU will get overheated. So what it will do? If it is overheated, it is going to be damaged. What system will do? System restarts itself. System is going to restart itself. You power on your system. Remember, guys, you power on your system. System is started, again restarted. Started, again restarted. So what happened? So one of the thing is CPU is getting overheated. Why it is getting overheated? So there is a reason. One is your heat sink is not properly seated, or heat sink fan is not working, or dust on the heat sink. So if your system is restarted itself again and again, possibly CPU overheated. Check the heat sink and heat sink paste, thermal paste, and the fan. These three things. If it is a dust, so I'll put a dust. It is how much dust is on this heat sink. So because of, even your laptop, guys, so not only desktops, laptops, people put a laptops on their laps. Laptop means lap on the lap, right? So they put a lap. So lap, the cloths, what it is happened, the dust particles easily went inside your laptop using that vents are there, no, the holes. Okay. Some people put a laptop on bed, sofa, on cloths, pillows. There's a lot of dust is there. Okay, lot of dust on it. So what happened? These dust particles is easily went inside your laptop, and where it starts on the heatsink. The heatsink fan assembly, heatsink and heatsink fan assembly. What happened? So more dust, it's unable to cool down itself. Heatsink will absorb the heat and it should be cooled down. It is unable to cool down. What happened? This processor is getting overheated. So it is always better to clean up. Okay. So always it is go through the cleanup process. So it is what is uninstall the cooler, use the gloves or something it is showing you, wipe it clean. Okay, both heatsink fan and your processor, entire thing. So anywhere the dust is there, clean it properly. Okay, clean it properly, and then put a heat sink paste on it. Okay, again put a heat sink paste and your what is this heat sink assembly, and sit it properly. Okay. So this is about your processor. Okay. This is the thermal paste. Actually, this is, should be here. Not happen. This is laptop cleaning system, guys. This is for laptops. Okay. I put that picture also because you can simply use uh, using simple brush also. You can clean up this fan assembly. For desktops that this is how it is there. It is on processor, like this on processor, heatsink paste and heatsink and fan assembly. For laptops, under this, you can see this part. Under this part, processor is there. This will absorb the heat, passes the heat to this, and this fan will blow the air outside, like an exhaust fan. That's why if you are seeing for a laptop where these vents are there, left or right, you will feel the heat out. Okay, so you will feel the heat out. That's why if you put your system on bed or pillow on laps, so it will get more heated. So compulsory avoid it. Put it on a one table mate or simple wooden table is good. Not required the fan cooling systems and all. A simple normal table mate kind of stuff is also works. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to say. So this is here. Guys, understand what is the heat sink? Heat sink paste, how to clean up, and how to maintain.
Yes, sir.
Next topic, we will go for a RAM and ROM. So we will discuss about what is RAM and how it is there. What are the other things about a RAM? You can see. We'll take a break for 10 minutes, guys. Just relax. Okay. And we'll be back. No need to disconnect. Just keep it like that only. If you are using mobile, just connect after 5-10 minutes. So I will be back in 10 minutes. So by 12 o'clock. Be back at 12. Okay. So I stop recording also.